Alright, so let's begin this tutorial with the primer. I'm using Becca Backlight Filter and I totally believe you should invest in this because it's a beautiful primer. It gives such a lovely glow, like I can't even with this glow. Then I'm taking NYX Stay Matte but not flat foundation. I love the color match and I love the formulation. So I'm just applying it all over my face, my neck and my décolletage because that's the type of clothes she was wearing. So it does require that you work on your décolletage area as well. Then I'm just blending it in with the help of this YBP Sponge. For my concealer, I'm going in with Boing concealer. I'm using the shade 02 and I'm applying it under my eyes as well as on the other highlight area. She didn't have a crazy highlight going on, so I'm not using the crazy light shade, but just a shade which is like 1 or 2 tones lighter than my skin tone, and blending it out with the same sponge to get a flawless finish. And yes, as I said, going in other areas which require highlighting, so I'm doing that and then again blending it out with a sponge to ensure it looks flawless and nice. Then I'm taking this Magic Wand Illuminating Foundation by Too Faced. Deepika was a bronzed goddess on the red carpet, so that's what I'm doing. I'm applying it on the hollows of my cheekbones, jawline as well as my forehead to make sure my face has a nice bronzed effect, and I'm then again blending it out with the same sponge. Moving on to Kat Von D Shade and Light palette, I'm going to pick up the yellow shade first and then I'm going to apply it under my eyes to not only brighten them up but also make sure that they stay in place all day or night long whenever you plan to wear this makeup. I loved the makeup. And then I'm moving on to the contour shade and I'm going to just contour my cheeks. Don't worry if this looks a little harsh right now. I do believe in the spritz and sponge technique, which I will be sharing in this video as well. So I'm going everywhere where I have applied the bronzer and also on my nose to slightly contour. And then going into the Becca Jaclyn palette, and yes, I haven't taken off the plastic because I'm scared I'm going to ruin it, and I'm going to pick up the blush Amaretto and I'm just going to put it on my cheeks. She had a very browny sort of a blush and this seemed perfect. And then moving on to Champagne Pop, I'm going to just pop it on my cheekbones. But after putting it on, I did feel it's a bit more goldeny than silvery. Hers was a bit more whiter. So what I'm going to do is I'm still going to apply it all over my face. Not all over my face, but you do get the point, right? So I'm just going to apply it wherever necessary, and then I'm going to take this e.l.f. makeup mist and set spray and take a quick shower in it, just a little bit, and then take the sponge and move everything into my skin. This ensures there are no harsh lines, no powderiness, no cakiness, and then quickly going into MaryLoumanizer and just setting my highlight with this. This will give it more of, you know, that candlelit white glow than the goldeny glow. So yeah, I'm just setting all of my highlighted areas. And then I'm just going to brush out my eyebrows, and I use the Natio Eyebrow Kit and I'm just going to fill in my eyebrows a little bit more heavily than what I normally tend to do because Deepika has like heavily filled eyebrows. Going back in with my contour shade, I'm going to pick up this orange color. I'm going to put it in my crease to bring some warmth and definition to my crease area. And then I'm taking the contour shade again, the pointed crease brush, and I'm going to put it in my crease, like literally just in my crease. I don't want it to move anywhere else but stay in my crease. And then lastly, taking the darkest shade, I'm going to put it all across my lid. A lot of companies do contour kits, so you definitely don't need to buy this particular one if you feel it's a bit too expensive, although I love the quality. I know NYX does one, and so do other companies as well. But anyways, these are just basic neutral eyeshadows. I do think you have them in your palettes as well, but I did not want to use another palette, so I used my contour palette only. And then I took this matte black eyeshadow from NYX and I'm lining my eyes with this pencil sort of a brush, fat pencil brush, and then going in with PAC liner. I used this for the first time and it's extremely creamy and jet black, like you can see. So I'm just lining my lash line, waterline as well as my tight line with this, like all of it with this. And then I'm going to smudge the kajal as well on both the top and the bottom lash line. You don't want to go too crazy on the bottom line, you just want to ensure you smudge it in place. I'm also going to smudge it with the brown that I used in my crease, and then I'm going to go to MaryLoumanizer and put it in my inner corners for that brighten up effect. And for my mascara, I'm using this one by Loreal and just putting it on my top and bottom lashes both. You might or might not want to put on falsies, so depending on that, make sure how many coats you go on with on your lashes. So I just put on some falsies and then I'm removing my excess lip balm and going to NYX Suede lip liner in the orange shade. So Deepika had very warm orangey nude lips and I didn't have that sort of color, so I'm gonna make it. And I used this lip liner for the first time and I was quite impressed by the pigmentation that it had. After I'm done with filling in the orange, I'm going to move on to NYX Lip Launch and I'm going to put it all across my lips to tone down that orange and make it more like a warm neutral color, the one that I want. So I'm just putting this color all over my lips. I loved how this look turned out, and especially this lip turned out. I loved it. And then I'm also highlighting my collarbones because hers were extremely highlighted, and obviously going on my shoulder as well, just to, you know, get all in the jazz. So yes, with that I finished this look. I hope you guys enjoyed this and I will see you guys super soon. Till then, take care. Bye.